Alright, so I'm back, and today, well, first off, I want to apologize about my lighting. I ordered a brand new lighting station, and it came in last night, and it was broken, so I have to send it back. I also ordered a new desk, and it came in, and it's only like, it was supposed to be as big as my old one, but it came in and it's like only about that long, or that wide. I mean, seriously, it's that. I mean, from there to there. I mean, it's not that big. And also, I don't know if they forgot to put in the legs or something, but the legs are only a couple, maybe a foot long, so I've got it propped up on boxes at the moment. It's just been one thing after another here. Anyway, today we're going to take a look at the Igear Con Air, what's his name? Starburst. And he comes with the instructions, collector card, box, whatever. Who cares about that? This is what we're looking for. And no, he does not come with the Decepticon logos. I put those on myself last night. Anyway, so here he is in his jet mode. It's the F-22 design. Really nice. I really like this look. Yeah. And we will bring back the grading board, because we're going to do side-by-side grading on this guy with the Hasbro Seekers. So here he is. For size comparison, here he is next to the Seeker mold. So as you can see, he's significantly bigger than the Seeker mold. So yeah. Either way, it's a really cool design. I really like it. So the first point is for my rating is jet mode. Like, who's got the better jet mode? I'm not going to go G1 accuracy on the jet mode. I will do an overall G1 aesthetic for a point as well. So let me pause this for just a second here. Sorry about that. I forgot to actually put G1 on the board. So it's on the board now. So for the jet modes, I mean, yeah, he's the F-16, I believe, and he's the F-22, or F-14 or F-15 fighter jets. Really cool. I always love this design of a jet, but the F-22 Raptor is also a really good design as well. Now, he does come with the null race here and here, and he also comes with little missile pods as well. The Hasbro does not come with the missile pods. You can get them with the Guilty Hunger upgrade kit, or I believe the Dr. Wu upgrade kits come with them too. But one cool thing about this jet is if you are really stickler for more of this design, you could, the way it transforms, you can actually take this wing, fold it up, put it back into place here, like so, and now he's got more of the traditional look. It's a little off because this is a little bit longer than it should be, and these tail fins aren't straight back, but if you are a stickler for that design, you can emulate it a bit. So that's a really cool thing. I don't think they meant to do that. They meant just for this to be for the robot mode portion, but it works for me. I personally prefer the F-22 Raptor. This one, I mean, it's kind of hard to give a point to either one of these guys because he does not look like the F-15 like the original Seekers are supposed to. He does. But he's designed to be the F-22. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a point to both of them for jet mode. Because I think they both succeed in what they're supposed to look like. He's supposed to look like the F-15. He's supposed to look like the F-22. It's as simple as that. I mean, I can't fault him for looking like a jet. And this guy technically isn't identical. I think part of the design is a little bit skewed. I can't remember. I think it's the nose isn't quite right on it, but that's a different matter altogether. So, getting them off to the side. One thing he has that the Seekers don't is that he actually has wheels at the bottom on his landing gear, and they actually do roll. So, not very well, but they do roll. They have a tendency of trying to flip back up, but you can actually pull them out and utilize them, unlike you can with the Warbototron's blast off. So, he also does come with a base, which is kind of cool. And what you do is there's 2 ports inside his legs right here, and here, and you'll have to just split his legs and then just kind of wedge this in there and then close the legs back up. It's kind of a pain to get it to go in there just right when you have him already in jet mode. It's easier to do it while he's still in robot mode, but as you can see, it does work. And it's on a just a friction swivel, so you can actually just turn it however you want to. So it's a cool bonus feature. Personally, I would have preferred not include that and make the figure a little cheaper, but yeah, there you go. And so yeah, I think that's really all there is to show in this mode. Let me pause this one more quick second, because I remember John Lant wanted me to show him off with Prowl, Masterpiece Prowl, and I gotta find Masterpiece Prowl, so. Okay, found Prowl. Yeah, try moving and try and do these reviews. It's fun. Yeah, trying to navigate everything at the same time. Yeah, it's great. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this guy into robot mode. His transformation is actually really ingenious. First thing you want to do is fold up the landing gear. And now his transformation, it's ingenious. It's perfect for his size. It's not overly complicated. And he's coming off really white, but he is more of like an off-white, maybe eggshellish white. Well, like a really light gray. So first thing you want to do is pull these wings out a little bit. They are on just friction ports. So if you pull them out, it's not that big of a deal. Fold up these wing ports. Oh, real quick while we got him here. He does have 4 different 5mm ports on the bottom of his wings, so you can plug the null rays or the missile pods into any one of those. So, and then if you do the this look for jet mode, you are sacrificing those to do that. Fold these up. Just kind of keep them off to the side to just kind of keep them out of the way. And then what you want to do is you take this tail fin here and you push it up, or you pull it out just a little bit and then you push it up. It's on just that little pin right there. And when you turn to jet mode, there's this little square peg right here, square notch, and it just plugs in there. Holds fairly well. So unplug that and then you push it up to this back tail fin, and you can see there's a notch right there and there's a peg right there, so you just plug that in and it holds that just like so. Do the same thing over here. Just slide this up, plug that in, and there you go. Then you take this piece here, fold it out, fold it out, fold out the feet, and then these legs will pull down. It's easier if you split them apart and just take one at a time. And I forgot to show this off, but before you do that, slide them down, you want to take this panel right here and you just pull this up, and then you can pull it down. Pull these out just a little bit more. And then on the back here, you take these panels here that we had just pulled down. They come out, they're on a ball joint here, and then they're also on a hinge. And you just want to rotate this around, and this port right here will plug into this hole right here. So it just plugs in, and there you go. Do the same thing over here, and there you go. So there we have the legs done. Like I said, not too difficult. Some crazy awesome design elements going on, but not too difficult. So keeping the wings over here, you want to then take this chest piece, fold this down, and then you want to kind of push these arms just a little bit to try and, pull the nose cone up, and then once you do that, you'll be able to pull these things out. You didn't see any of that, did you? Let me redo that. So, here I've got it all back together here. So what you want to do is just take the nose cone here, pull it up like so, and then you'll be able to pull these things out. Okay. You don't want to pull them all the way out because they're going actually the opposite direction here in a second. So you want to take these shoulders and pull the arm through. This is where it's a really tight clearance, so it's really hard to get the first arm out, but there you go. And getting it back into jet mode is just as difficult. Getting one arm through is not too bad, but getting the second arm through, it gets real tight. So rotate this out. You then want to come down here and see these little side panels right here. You want to fold these in. And then you take this little piece right here, right in the middle here, and you fold this out, straight out, just like that. Alright. So now we've got an exploded jet. Fold the arms down, and then you can take this piece here, and it just rotates up. And there's a square, or rectangular port plug right here, and it just kind of slots right in there. And it holds pretty well. I mean, it's not as great as some of the other pegs on here, but it does hold the entire body weight on it. So it's a good enough peg for me. Do the same thing on this arm. So fold this out. Rotate the hand. And yeah, I I'm sorry about the weird angles on this camera. I'm in a very weird angle at the moment, so hopefully I'll get everything set up later on a little bit better. So rotate these wings around. Alright, now you take this nose cone here and you fold it back, just like so. You rotate the whole torso in like this, and then you want to take this chest piece up here, fold it up, and then slide this down a little bit. What you got to do is you got to lock the chest into place, the actual chest here into place before you finish pushing the body down. It gets a little tight if you don't do it that way. Try that again. There we go. Just plug that in. Oh, come on. What's your deal? There we go. Flip out the shoulder pads. Flip out the shoulder pads. I was really tempted to put these Decepticon logos on right side up. That's how I think it should be, but it's always been upside down, so that's why it's like that. And there you have Starburst in robot mode. And he's really, really awesome in this mode. He doesn't have any place to store the missile pods because we folded up all the ports in the back, so he can't hold those back there. But you can plug the null rays to his forearms like they're supposed to be. And there you go. Alright, so he does come with a second head. I'm not going to put it on because I'm not a huge fan of this particular smirk. And it's only the front face, so. Whereas the one he comes with on is this one, which is much more G1 accurate, I believe. He doesn't have light piping, but he does have really nice red painted eyes. Almost like the Masterpiece style. And I'm trying to... And the light's just not hitting it right. So it's kind of hard to see. There we go. So. There. That's a good look there. So. Alright. So let's do posability, and then we'll get into some size comparisons. So the wings are on those friction swivels, so they do rotate, and they are also on rotators too, so you can fold them all the way back, fold them all the way forward, however you want to display them to keep them out of the way. Head is on a really nice ball joint, so up, down, left, right. Gets a little tight rotating it, but it's not being stopped by anything, so it's just, that's just the way mine is. And he does have light piping. It just doesn't work because they have really dark plastic and painted eyes. Okay, so alright, whatever. Zoom this out just a little bit here. Shoulders are on swivels, so in, out. Also, due to transformation, he does have an inward swivel as well. The arms ratchet up and down. The shoulder pads do move, but it's really nice because when you move the arm, the shoulder pad actually stays in place, so you don't have to actually reposition it every single time you move the arm. The null ray is on this little swivel here, so it can kind of rotate around independent of the arm for the most part. So it doesn't go any further back, but you can get it forward, to the side. So that is pretty cool. And since it's on that 5mm port, you could position it like that. Now, swivels right below the null ray, double bend elbows. Good range of motion there. Hand is on a ball joint, so it gets great range of motion, and it's cut at the bottom, so you can rotate it, you know, up, down, left, right, all that. Waist swivels. It's a Seeker with a waist swivel. I don't think we've really seen that before. That works perfectly, and his does. Hips go up, back. The ratchets, well, they have ratchets in there. You can see the gears, but it's not ratcheting. So maybe they just disabled that. Or maybe they put lots of lube in there. Swivels at the thigh, bends, got a double bend knee, and when it bends you can see all these gears come out, which is nice. The front toe is on a ball joint, so it gets a little hindered, but it does move. The rocket boosters stationary, and the back one is also on a ball joint, but the way everything's cut right there, it goes up and down. That's it. It doesn't go left and right. So yeah, it's just up and down. This one does have a little bit of tilt in it. So yeah. So all in all, very posable figure. Looks great. I think my only gripe in the robot mode has to go to the vents here. I'm not a huge fan of those vents. Kind of wish he had just the classic Seeker vents, but he's not technically a classic Seeker, so I guess I can forgive him. So, and here he is. We'll do the Seeker mold last. Here he is next to Masterpiece Prowl. He's about a head taller than Masterpiece Prowl. Here he is next to Classics Red Alert. John wanted to see that because he doesn't like his Seekers being shorter than Red Alert mold. Which I can't blame him. I'm in the same boat. Here he is next to Blitzwing. And he's just a little taller than Blitzwing. So he's about the size of a Commentate Voyager. Maybe a little bit bigger. Here he is next to Prime Shockwave. Again, he's about a head taller than him. But they look great together, I think. About the same amount of bulk. Here he's next to Megatron. Who comes up? He's about half a head taller than Megatron. Yeah, about half a head. He just looks taller because he's got those really big vents, and he's really blending. His head is blending into the background, so it looks like he's shorter than he is. But so I think they scale really well together. So if you have, I know Hegemon is a little taller than Megatron, so if you have Hegemon, it's probably going to scale just perfect. I personally am going to wait and get the leader class Megatron, who's about a head tall, or the Common Day Voyagers go up to the shoulders of these new leader class, so they're more or less ultra class. So that's what I'm waiting for. And here he is next to the Warbototron Blastoff, and he's about a head taller than Blastoff there. So definitely looks great together. Definitely looks like he could be flanked by Combaticons. And last but not least, and this is probably the most saddest part of this review, here he is next to the classic Seekers. Who is not standing. And he's about half as tall as the Igear Seekers. So, all in all, when it comes to... Let me pause this real quick and we'll get to the board. Alright, so I zoomed way out for this. So, when it comes down to robot mode, I have to give it to Igear. I think he's got a more compelling robot mode than him. He just looks like he's got more life to him. This guy looks more like a brick. I hate to use that term for the Seekers, and I love the Seekers. Always have, always will. But I think he just has more fluidness to him. Yeah, it's more of a Neo design, but it's really what we needed for a Neo design of the Seekers, without compromising the overall look of the character. So I give that one to Igear. Size. Well, I do think he's still a little too tall. He is definitely too big. I would have preferred Seekers to be about a head shorter than Megatron. I could forgive him, even in this size scale. I could forgive this guy a little bit because he's just a little bit taller than Megatron. Like I said, I wish he was a little bit shorter, but this guy is significantly shorter than Megatron. And all the Autobot cars, he should be in the same scale as Megatron. He should be about the same size. So this guy's a lot more in that size than he is. So I give it, again, to Igear. Design of the figure is the next one I'm going on. There's no question for me. This guy he just trumps the design of him, just because his transformation is a lot more involved, but in a way that's more satisfying as you're going. When you get him into jet mode, he looks like a really good jet mode. All the panels click into place. It's not like it's like Toy World's Orion. His entire design is like the bottom half of Toy World's Orion. Just really, really nice, fluid motions. It really works. The only part that I don't like is when the arms go through the chest. That it gets a little tight. It gets a little scary because everything does have to kind of almost bend to get him through. That's the one flaw on that. This guy, I could transform all the Seekers in half the time it takes to transform him. So the design on him is very simplistic, very G1-esque, and it's a nice design. I've always loved the Seekers, but I have to give it to this guy again because he's just better designed. Just all around, he's just a better quality figure, or a better design figure. Now, when it comes to quality, I'm going to give a point to both of them, and I'll explain that here in a second. You know, I mean, there's no question. There's never been a question about Hasbro's plastic quality. They're always really, really nice, really good. Yeah, there's some few quality control issues here and there, and I'm missing his null rays, sorry. But there's a few quality control issues when it comes to Hasbro, but you could always get them replaced pretty easily. So, I mean, of course they get a point because they're Hasbro. Their quality is top notch. This guy, the plastic quality on him feels above Hasbro quality. Not quite masterpiece quality, but it's not regular release quality for regular Hasbro figures. And this is a third-party figure. This is, I mean, it feels just nice. I mean, if you get him, just move these legs up and down, and you just feel how smooth it moves and how solid it locks into place. It just feels perfect. I mean, it really is one of the best quality third-party figures I've ever held. It's definitely up there with Mastermind Creations Hegemon, or not, Hexatron. Definitely up there with that. It does surpass like TFC and them and Toy Worlds. It really is a top-notch plastic, in my opinion. Obviously, everyone's going to have their own opinion, but I'm just going on my opinion. And this is from somebody that for a long time really hated Igear. I mean, thoroughly, totally hated them because of their Cosmos. And John Lant, I know you wanted me to apologize to TFC for hating them for misguidedness, and I did. I will not apologize to Igear for their mini bots. I won't. I think they really fucked up with that. Anyway, now the last category is G1 accuracy. I have to give it to the Hasbro Seeker. This guy does feel... He does look and feel like a good G1 representation of the character. But the Hasbro one is obviously better. I mean, he looks like just a more posable version of the G1 character. I mean, that's all it really is. It looks like... This guy right here looks like he just jumped right off the cartoon screen. This is the United Aces Starscream. So he definitely looks like he just jumped right off the screen and formed into plastic. He does not. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and say he's a perfect Starscream. He's not. He's got his own design elements that they threw in there. I think maybe one of the IDW designs. I know the Legends class Starscream is kind of similar to this, but not quite. But I think that he works well, but he's just more G1 accurate. That's really all there is to it. He's more G1 accurate. He's not. So let's get these guys off to the side. So overall, when let's see, Hasbro got 3 points, and Igear got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have to say, for me, and again, I know this is all opinion based. This is not fact. That I can't say for a fact everyone will love this guy more than they like the Seeker Jets. I won't say that because there'll be a lot of people that are like, no, he's not classics enough looking. He's too big. He's F-22. These vents aren't right. I agree. Those vents aren't right. And you know, this and this and this. You know, it's going to happen. That's how everyone is. That's the best thing about being in this day and age as a Transformers fans, because we all have options of figures to get. I mean, a great example is Megatron here. You can have Classics Megatron. You can have the Generations War for Cybertron Megatron. Yeah, he's smaller, but you could have him. There's also Leader Class Megatron coming out, and there's also the Hegemon figure. And I think there's another third-party tank Megatron coming. But, I mean, you have your options for Megatrons. And Cloud Megatron, which was the bludgeoned retool into Megatron. You have your options. And even with Starscream, you could get the Cloud Starscream, which is the Blitzwing mold, redesigned as Starscream. I think that looks like shit. I don't know why anybody would want to, but you could. You get Igear. You get the classic Seekers. There's no question. I mean, there's options. And I love that we have options. But overall, I think this is by far Igear's best offering so far. Yeah, they did some cool stuff with their mini-bots. And don't get me wrong, the mini-bots, some of them were good. And I do have some of them. And I think they are good. But some of them suck so badly. Like Cosmos was just absolutely dreadful. Because, I mean, the quality control on him was just horrible. And so on and so forth. You know, some of them, like, they released them in the improper colors first, just to release the comic book, or the accurate colors later on, which was crap. And I don't know anybody that was like, ooh, that's great to have two different versions of the same character. One's inaccurate, one's accurate. Their Faith Leaders, which was the downscaled versions of Optimus Prime, the first Masterpiece, was a great idea, but overall it's a knockoff. You know, it's just a knockoff. That's all they did. They copied something that somebody else did. And when they did the Masterpiece Seekers, again, they copied something that somebody else did. And let me pause this real quick, because I just remembered I do have a Masterpiece Skywarp somewhere. I want to grab him real quick. Alright, so he's not in the best condition because he's missing a wing, but here he is next to the Masterpiece Seeker mold. And as you can see, he's about a head taller, so he doesn't quite fit in. There's no way he does not fit in Masterpiece scale in any way, shape, or form. He's not big enough for Masterpiece scale. He should be at least, probably about the size of the old Seekers. And he's not G1 accurate enough for Seekers, but he is for Classics. So this figure is definitely for Classics. Anyway, back to what I was ranting about. Yeah, and then Igear did the Masterpiece Seekers, which was just, again, knockoffs of the Hasbro ones with some retooled bits. And you know, that was cool because they fixed some of the issues that Hasbro's figures had, but then Hasbro did the same fix and just totally null and voided them. And Igear stole that design from. I know a customizer was doing that before Igear was doing it, and then Hasbro took it from Igear, so maybe we'll get Conehand Masterpiece Seekers. Anyway, back to what I was. And then, you know, Igear also did their Ironhide and Ratchet, which, don't get me wrong, those are great figures, but this guy just kind of beats them in design. There's less scary points to him than there are the Igear Ratchet and Ironhides. Like, you know, folding the plastic in on itself for the waist piece. That's a really tight fit. Really always concerns me. And the little pulls that some of the pieces are on concerns me. I think that it was a great design. I think that this goes the next step. I think, like I said, I think this is Igear's best offering to date. I'm very excited to see what they do next. They've really kind of stepped out of this knockoff shell that they had built for themselves from the get-go, and pointless repaints. I think he looks great. For rating, I will give him, I'm giving him a 10 out of 10. I think he's absolutely incredible. I'm very happy I have him. I'm going to actually be selling off all my other Seekers when I have a chance to find them all. So if anybody's interested in any of them, let me know. The only one I'm not selling is Acid Storm, so that I could still have a Classics Seeker Classic Seeker scale. And I think I forgot to do this. There he is next to Hercules. So you can see how he stacks up there. So he's still definitely smaller than a Combiner. Comes up about waist. And that is, I mean, that's probably the best we're going to get with toys, because that's just, unless we downsize all our regular guys and use the TFCs or bigger for the Combiners. I mean, even this doesn't quite fit in with them, because like Starscream was able to stand on Bruticus's shoulder, so I don't think we'll ever get size scale accuracy with the Combiners. It's just not going to happen. But so yeah, there is the Igear Airburst Con Air CO1. Yeah, so I'm going to be trying to pool all I know how Igear works, so I'm going to try and get the rest of them as quickly as I can, because I don't want them to sell out on me. So in case you guys, just to give you a heads up, there might be a lot of these Seekers in the near future. So yeah, there is Starscream, Igear Starscream. I'm a lot more impressed with this figure than I thought I was going to be. I actually have been kind of trashing it for a while, thinking it was too big, too small for Masterpiece, doesn't look right, and kind of a joke. I mean, I'm really glad that they didn't stick with this face, because this face really is a joke. It's almost like animated Starscream face, so I'm very happy that this isn't what we're stuck with. But yeah, really great design. I really like it. I like it a lot.